Hello, welcome back to Talk Seagulls. First one of the year. First time that I'm sat in front of a camera talking about Brighton for a long time. I feel like I've been a presenter for too long without doing Brighton content. Oh my God. This has been horrendous, this run, and I'm not going to try and sugarcoat it. This podcast is not to just sit here and pretend everything's absolutely fine, because clearly not. This podcast will be interesting, but we're here back at the Caxton Arms, and I appreciate Brett wanting to show his face on this today, because I don't know if I want to.
There's a lot to talk about, isn't there? So might as well get it off our chest. So.
Yeah, it's a therapy session, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's necessary.
My hair might go greyer and greyer throughout this episode. So
yeah, literally same here, to be honest. No, it's good to be back. Genuinely, I am really happy to be back. I say I wanted to take some time before just come back to podcasts. I think the beginning of the year has been horrendous for Brighton. And I actually had someone bump into me in Churchill Square recently, and shout out to him. And he just said, like, where's the podcast gone? Like, you all right? I was like, because I guess if you don't watch my podcast, you only watch podcasts and you don't watch anything else, it's like, what on earth is going on? But yes, I'm okay. I've had sinusitis for about a month and a half, which has been great. Last day of antibiotics, vamos. Should be so back now. So yeah, to be honest, I've just not really been in a state to be filming these podcasts. But I am back now, and I can safely say, yeah, we're back after an interesting game. Like, for me, this is the most toxic game that I can remember since the hippier days.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, we've had a couple of rumblings at away game, like Fulham has quite a lot of boos, but there wasn't the Herzl are out chance. There wasn't the sacked in the morning chance. And normally the away crowd are more vocal than the home fans. So for the Amex to turn on him like that, you said it hasn't happened since hippier. Like, the Zerbi absolutely down tools for 6 months, and the crowd still was chanting his name, loved him and didn't want him to go. Houghton was in a terrible run. The crowd never got on his back. Like there was obviously boos, but there was never really calls for him getting sacked. So this is new territory, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of variables here to unpack. Like, I don't think it's just one thing of the performances are bad, hence the boos. I think there's a lot of other things as well. I think the biggest frustration has been sort of how there's been a lot of interesting articles coming out recently, and these people that are almost controlling narratives is what we've been told, irritating the board is what we've also been told. And I think probably a little bit of that is overspilled. And I want to just get out first and foremost that we didn't personally boo. I don't think you did you?
What's that?
We're not personally booers ourselves.
No, I didn't boo or chant, but I'm not in the Herzler in camp.
Yeah, that's I think the kind of point is we're not booers, but then you kind of, I don't want to be the person to say, oh, fans can't, because I don't think that's right when, they pay a lot of money. It's expensive going home and away, very expensive, especially these days. Trains are not cheap. You know, it's not an easy thing to just go and follow your team home and away in the Premier League anymore. Fair play if you're going up to Liverpool. That's all I'll say. And like, there's a lot of very, very expensive variables to that as to why fans are the only stakeholders in football that aren't paying to be at a game. And I think that's the biggest thing for me. And when I first heard that, I thought, I suppose managers, players, media, coaching staff, like everyone there is being paid to be there. Yeah. The only one that transactions flipped around in is the fans. So of course, if they're going to feel something, they're well within their rights to portray it.
Yeah, absolutely. And normally, like, we're seen as a club that do everything right. We get praised for doing so much.
Yeah.
And our fans lap it up, and we sort of play on it. But now I don't know how it's fallen off a cliff so fast, but it is on the other foot. We are in a bad moment, and the fans are showing it. So for me, the manager's not that inspirational, but I don't know why, I think the problems seem deeper than just the manager at the moment, like with the board and how they're trying to, like, especially with some of the journalists, that they're trying to drive a wedge between the fan and the clubs for no apparent reason, which is making this hatred.
Yeah.
It's a strong word, but they're making it a lot worse than it probably should be.
It's causing a friction, isn't it? It's like when you're upset and someone says, why are you upset? Yeah. It's a gaslighting technique, isn't it? It's a way of making you think, should I be upset? Yeah. Like, I think, if someone is telling you shouldn't be feeling something, you're instantly going to probably be a little bit more annoyed than you were originally. Yeah. It's kind of like this, just kind of how it works. If you're in an argument and someone's like, why are you so mad about this? It's like, what do you mean I'm so mad about it? All of a sudden I'm now mad that you think I shouldn't be mad about it. Yeah. And when you've lost the amount of games we've lost, we've drawn the amount of games we've drawn in the fashion and manner we have, and you look at where the club was this time, probably even a year or two ago, it's staggering, isn't it?
Yeah, I said, like, he always goes on about performances, and it's a results-based business, and I'd probably argue the results are better than the performances, and the results are terrible. Like, was it 1 win in 12, and like, I think all the home games we've had against teams down with us now, I guess, and we haven't won any of them. And in that time, the performances have just uninspirational. Nothing's really happened. Like, I didn't come away from Palace yesterday going, "Oh, we were so unlucky,
So close,
so close. We deserved to lose." And
Yeah,
I'm not arguing that. Palace weren't even that good, and we didn't put a finger on them.
Hold on.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree, because Palace. This is the thing, actually. It's funny you say that, because I think we said at the beginning of the season, like, we don't make teams necessarily work hard to win. And I think that's been the frustration of when we've thrown games away, when we've dropped points from losing positions, and you know, the amount of points we've also sort of had to recoup as well. I think we also lead for points recouped and points won from losing positions. And that maybe you could say, yeah, good character to come back into games, but a lot of times, a lot of those points, when I sort of quantify them and then look at the context behind them, I think, yeah, but it's because we put ourselves in a stupid position in the first place.
Yeah.
We picked the wrong first 11. We kind of tried to sort it out, and then our best player shone in the last 10, 15 minutes. The amount of times that happened is ridiculous.
Yeah, I think part of me thinks is Hertzler starting with a weaker team on purpose, and he wants to finish stronger, and that's an odd tactic if we're doing that. But nothing makes sense. Like, the only credit I probably would give to Hertzler is making the subs when we are losing and behind. But when we're drawing or trying to hold out a game when we're winning, his game management subs have been horrendous.
Yeah, and the whole tactics of Hertzler, I've said it for 2 years. And now I can say he's been here for the same amount of time as Roberto De Zerbi was at Brighton. I'm sorry. You can't say you've not given him time, because we have. As fans, we've given him a lot of time. We've cut him a lot of slack. I think last season, we looked good in terms of the league position. We were also helped by, and I'll probably get killed for saying it, João Pedro carried us through so many games. Mitoma carried us through so many games. There were so many opportunities. Georgie shone with someone like João, with someone like Mitoma, Minte, because those as a combined four, I think if you put them together in any circumstance, they're going to look good together because they're all top players. And I think you've taken out a big core of that in João.
Yeah.
You've now lost a huge threat up front. You know, Danny, I like Welbeck a lot, but I just think you can clearly see that Jorginho is not anywhere near the level of he was last season at all. If anything, he's pretty worryingly poor.
Yeah.
But this isn't me to get on Georgie, because I think actually I'd be the complete opposite. I want to defend him. Yeah. And I'd say, I feel like he's a sort of player that needs a lot of arm around him. I think if fans are on his back, I feel like he's an emotional character, and I wouldn't want him to feel like that. Yeah. He looked almost isolated on the pitch, it felt.
Yeah, as I said, like he's like the epitome of a confidence player to me, like Solly March was. Now he just seems to run at defenders and hope they move out the way, and just literally runs into them. And yesterday, like, every single pass flick went wrong, and he probably should have come off earlier, just for his sake, because he is a top player and he's our record signing as well. So a lot depends on him. Like, we lost, as you said, João. I think I tweeted earlier this morning saying, in João Pedro, he may not be the most consistent or the most prolific goal scorer, but in big moments when we've needed someone to step up, he's done it, and he's rescued us points, won us points. We don't have that anymore. So it kind of reflects, and like all the tight games we've had and how many draws, 10, 11 draws we've had, none of them converted into wins because we don't have those game changers. And like Welbeck, you said, he's great and he's doing fine for his age, but he's not scored since November, is it? I think so. It's a bad run. So like, just loads of things aren't clicking, and it's a lot's to do with the manager, but it's not all to do with the manager. I think.
The squad planning, isn't it? Yeah. We said it at the beginning of the season, I think. Not much has really changed. And this is why I haven't really done these podcasts, because I feel like I've not been able to add anything of value because I feel like it's just the same problems consistently repeating themselves, and then people kind of turning a blind eye to it based on the fact if we win the next game. And I think that's such a silly mindset as fans. We shouldn't be thinking, oh, hopefully we win the next one and then everything's fine again. Because from a long term, I remember we used to get it all the time as fans for the Potter days. It's more about performances than results. Fine, can live with that, because I can kind of see that in the long run it'll work out, and it kind of did with Potter until he decided to jump ship. And I don't think that the performances have suggested anything other than regression since last season.
No, I agree completely. I said, like, if we lost games, drew games, and the performance was there, I don't think this reaction of the crowd will happen. It's just, you walk away from all these games going, no, we're just not very good.
We're just not great.
Like yesterday, it's the Derby game, and we just didn't look up for it.
No.
Everything was lethargic. The first half was bad. Both teams looked bad. Like, both teams looked like they didn't want to lose rather than win. And so we didn't lay a finger on Palace at all, really. I think Babis went clean through once. And
that was actually a good flick from Georgie, to be fair. But he should have scored that Babis. But I agree. Like, just these are the things that are annoying me in as a fan base right now. Is like, I feel like it's taken a long time for everyone to kind of click with it. And I feel like now we've probably had more unity in one moment than for a long time, and that was all collectively thinking that was dire. And watching that second half was awful. I think after they scored, I don't think we even had a shot. Maybe because Soulless' shot was after.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. That was.
So apart from that, I can't remember any others. No. And I'm sorry if I've got that wrong for misinformation's sake, but I don't think I have. And that's worrying. This is a rival game. This is the game you want to win. If you're looking at the calendar, you look at Crystal Palace and you think, right, we want to beat Palace. And nowadays we look at Chelsea because we quite fancy beating Chelsea. But we look at Palace, and I give credit to Palace yesterday. I thought they did what they needed to do. I thought they had opportunities to make it 2 or 3, and they probably should have done. I think Strand Larsen gave Dunk a hard time. Dunk did well against him first 20, 30 minutes, but I think he's a bully, and he's a big bully. And ultimately, I think they got what they deserved. And I give credit to Palace for that. And I kind of think, but then, am I really shocked? Because before the game, Hertz was hugging Glasner for ages. This is your biggest rival's manager, by the way, who he said is his idol and the one that he looks up to for inspiration. And I'm thinking, well, no wonder the guy that you look up to is just beating you, because you look at him and you think, how can I be inspired by a bloke that's biggest fan is our rival's manager? A rival's manager don't even want to be there, by the way. No, I just think there's so many things wrong with that. As a club, we've just lost our mentality.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you look at Palace and like the absolute car crush that they've been since they've won the cup, which I want us to do so bad. Like, we should be capitalising on that, and we just haven't. We're not doing any better than them. We're in the same poor run of form as them, even though we seem to be running a better way. Like we say, our future looks better, our infrastructure's better, but the team is not better. And I said, like, every year, every window in the summer, we just lose our best player for whatever reason. We sell them, they don't want to be here. They win Player of the Year, and they go. And we don't really replace them. And not recruiting for the now is kind of biting us in the arse a bit now, where we have got loads of talented youngsters, but they're not going to be consistent. And he's kind of trying to go back on that of bringing back Gross, Igor, O'Reilly, players in their peak ages. And I don't know, it's just too much of a mismatch. And again, we've ended up in a transition season when we didn't want to be.
Do you know what? I wouldn't even call this a transition season.
It's not that good.
I'll just call this a terrible season.
Yeah, it is.
This isn't even transition, because if this was transition, it would mean there's an end goal to this. Yeah. The only end goal I can see right now is Championship football, and I'm not even exaggerating, right?
I don't think it's that bad. I don't think. I say we are 8 points clear at the minute. I don't think it's that
Leeds
bad.
are playing better than us. Forest on their day can play better than us. I'm not joking. Like, it's not great. Like, don't get me wrong. I think we've got players that should be playing top level football. I think Mitoma's should be playing top level football. I think Georgie could do. I think Babis actually showed a good account of himself yesterday. Welbeck's a good player. Minte's a good player. Balaba's a good player.
All of them, you said, are all out of form. Or like Mitoma's injured.
But also all just look clueless.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, down to the manager. I guess, like, there's seems to be no clear game plan or identity when we play these games. And I said, like, I don't want to keep harping on about the Zerbi. I in no ways want him back, but at least we could see what he was doing.
You could see what was going on.
What was going on. He was entertaining us, and even though he completely down tools and didn't care, and like was putting random players in weird positions just to prove a point, the fans still loved him because he showed the passion to start with. He made us believe for ages. He made us entertain when we were playing, and none of this is happening now, and that's why I believe the crowd have turned on the manager.
It's not a nice situation to be in. I don't think this helps anyone. I don't think it helps Fabian keeping him. I don't think it helps the club keeping him. I don't think it helps the fans. Well, they won't sack him because they'll want to wait till the end of the season. And this is probably where my frustration actually is. It's probably more in the decision making, in the, I mean, can you call it a contingency plan? Because I think it's a failed contingency plan. In the recruitment and in the way that we've tried to almost hush our own fans. I think that it's wrong. I think that you shouldn't try and make fans scared to think and say what they think, because that is just wrong in so many ways. Like, you cannot tell people how to think. It's so wrong. On and off the pitch, whether it's football, whether it's in life, you shouldn't be telling someone you shouldn't feel like that because I think this, because we want you to think that. Like, I think that there's luckily the fans have not received it well. And if it's irritated the board, if I've irritated the board, isn't that more of a wake-up sign? Isn't it a wake-up sign that everyone's now in this universal agreement that they don't want to just be controlled? Like, if I told you, like, how to run your pub and second-guessed every pint you poured, it might not mean anything to you to begin with. But if I do it to you every day, for everything you do, every pint you poured, that's not good enough, that's not good enough. You're going to think, am I doing something wrong? But you're not. But I can get in your head because if I keep saying it, and eventually you will kind of think, maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, like with the ball, I think there's just been so many times where they've misread the room so badly, and then stuff through certain journalists, they've put things out to try and make the fans feel wrong when I don't think they're wrong. My opinion doesn't really matter, but
it does.
A lot of people
it really
think,
matters.
but now more and more people are thinking the manager's not the right one, and you can't look at the end of the game yesterday with 5 minutes to go and full time and not take note if you're Bloom, because the way the crowd turned, that doesn't happen a lot. And like Brighton fans are pretty not non-emotional, but they're not the most passionate. We're not the most passionate, and for that to happen says a lot to me. And for me, I'd probably give him the Liverpool game, the cup on the weekend, and if we're out the cup, then the season's done, isn't it? So you might as well try and get a new manager in.
I'd want him gone before Liverpool, because I think, what's the point of wasting another game? Because there is still a chance of turning all of this around. There's still a chance of having a really good season. I just don't think that chance exists with this manager. I think that there are managers available, but I don't need to say that, because this is the best contingency planning club in the world. They've already thought of the next four or five managers before they've even hired this one. So it doesn't matter if I think that there's no managers on the market, or whether anyone thinks there's any managers on the market, because we've been told and we've been reassured that this club has managers available whenever they need to, which is why we got McKenna, right? So, like, I'm kind of thinking, like, at some point, but what you just said right there is, my opinion doesn't really matter. Yes, it does. Why should it not matter? Because you're a fan, you pay money, you go to every game, you're a season ticket holder, you do these things, you put yourself in the public limelight as well, as much as anyone else on social media. Of course your opinion matters. You are the product's customer. The product does not exist without the customer. If that's how you want to break it down. If the customer stops paying for the product dies.
Which it seems to be doing at the minute.
Well, exactly. So you can't say, it doesn't matter, because of course it matters. They want you to think it doesn't matter because they want to be able to say, yes, it's fine, shush, Brett, stop talking rubbish. But you're not talking rubbish. You're saying what you see with the money you've paid to go and watch that game, but it was rubbish. Of course you couldn't say it was rubbish.
It's just, there's weird things going on with the club where you think they're trying to bat it off and say, oh, no, la, la, everything's all right, but it clearly isn't. And
it's bad. Like, you can't just
and then you look at,
lie.
I know Twitter's a bit of
It's a bit exaggerated.
But now, like all the fan accounts that when I criticise them, then criticise the club, would all batter me, going, "Oh no, this is that," and bombard me with stats of why the manager's good, and
it's just mental.
It's not happening now, and I can't like. There's big Twitter, not influencers, but accounts of fans that are well known, and not one is defending the manager now.
I haven't seen any tweets from certain accounts after yesterday, and I'm waiting for you because you all were very happy to quote tweet me before and use me for content. I ain't seen you. Where are you? But like, it's so weird. I'm sorry. It's so weird. This is football. This is a game. It does not matter that much. Like, this is what I try and say to so many fans. Like, I feel like I've done a lot. I've been on both sides of the fence. I've done the media. I still do media. Like, it's my job. But I've never experienced anything like this with any other club, with any other people, where especially even other match-going fans of other clubs up and down this country, which go, "Oh yeah, we're a bit scared to say how we feel." No, they're not. Like, we are so tame. Like, I think We Are Brighton put on a thing about the actual times we've actually booed, and it was like 5 other occasions where it's been actually bad. But yeah, still, Potter really made a big thing of us being bad fans. And it's like,
the history lessons,
the booing, stop, shout and shoot. Like when we got out of that, we got to Zerbi. We look back on that thinking, my God, we were proper manipulated. You know? I feel like we've just gone back to it.
It does feel like that when the club you've irritated the board just because you're not happy.
It's mad.
Like, why aren't we allowed to be unhappy? You're like, when you've seen what we've seen. Like, we've played, Sunderland, Bournemouth, Everton, West Ham at home, not won any of them. And like, we're on a run of 1 win in 12. I think only Burnley's is worse, and our run would be as bad as Burnley, apart from the fact that we played Burnley.
But we used to mitigate that by actually beating big 6 sides. We don't do that now. You know, we used to beat Man United. We didn't this season. You know,
point at City, I think that was it.
And that would be our thing. We'd kind of be like, okay, it's all right. I know we beat them in the cup, but you know, that would be our thing to get out of it. But we don't even do that now. And as you say, I do think a big part of that is down to losing players like Pedro, players like Caicedo, or even McAllister, etc. Players that have gone on to be really, really successful players. And will continue to be successful players. Even Kukura I can throw into that mention now. Didn't really miss him with the Stupinians upgrade. But I just think, at some point something needs to change. I say it's not too late. And that's probably one of the biggest things I'd say. I'm going to go through this because I put a message out on Instagram on Talk Seagulls, and I wanted to get some thoughts from fans, and I wanted to see, because obviously we're being told that fans' opinions, whatever, don't matter, but I've got a lot of messages. I'm not going to read all of them, but I'll try and read some of them. We've also got some voice messages as well. I'll start with some of these. So this is the most recent ones we've got. You can tell me if you agree. Hertzler has to go, and this is from Thomas Parsons. Nice guy and wants it to work out, but it's not. The way the club is being reluctant to listen to the fans, I feel, is disconnecting them even further. I understand people wanting to wait it out until the end of the season, but with the run-in of our next fixtures, we could be in serious trouble. When we inevitably lose to Liverpool, I think it makes sense to change.
So I said that the Liverpool game's his chance. As with the manager, I think he probably is a really good coach, but as a manager with his age, it's not really working out. And for a club that's famed on developing young players, we're not doing that. And I think I said Ayari's probably the only one. Everyone seems to have regressed, or we've developed players, sent them on loan, think they're going to come back, and then they've just gone again. So like Buonanotte and Ciso, whatever. The model
seems as well. Barco and Ciso are flying at Strasbourg.
So just like normally you'd loan them and they come back and then they go into the first team, but that's not happened. I can't remember what else he said there.
To be fair, you've mostly covered it. We've got another one here from Sebastian, and I totally agree. I'm in no way defending Fabian Hertzler after yesterday's shambolic performance, but I do feel the poor form, which is currently on par with Chris Hughton's final 13 games, by the way, I didn't realise that, it's down to a multitude of different factors, which is, we've covered this already, but it's interesting. Player recruitment's been poor. So poor. In fact,
completely agree with that.
Entering the season with one striker whose fitness is questionable at the best of times, recalling O'Reilly and Igor and sending Gruder and Watson out on loan just seems weird. Pre-season was poor. I've never known a team to do 2 games of 30 minutes a half, but also the messaging from the club itself. Paul Beimer comments about people needing to manage their expectations during a run of 1 win in 12, which is now 1 win 13. On a day of the next game is so poor, which is obviously the big game against Palace. But what were the expectations at the beginning of the season? I'd be genuinely intrigued to know what they were, because the team has regressed by comparison to last season big time. Well, obviously, the thing that we were told was it was top 5, wasn't it?
It was
Tommy
players,
Watson said it. Georgie said it.
Yeah, I think even Bloom said it in one of the
Bloom.
interviews. But yeah, so they've raised our
Matoma
expectations.
as well. Matoma said it too.
They've raised our expectations. Not like, obviously we're not entitled to be up there, but you can't even say we're
entitled to not get relegated.
Yeah. But sometimes you can just think, oh yeah, we're unlucky, but we're just not.
No.
So we are where we are, and we deserve to be. Like pre-season, I've said this a couple of times. Like we played 2 games in one day, had a first 11 and a second 11. The first 11 was built around Matt O'Reilly in attack, and then after 2 games, he's gone. Welbeck was playing in the second 11, and he's our top scorer. So it may, like, I don't know what we did in pre-season, but it hasn't worked.
I agree. And needing to manage expectations. That's the thing that's been the biggest point of the last time. I know we spoke briefly about it before, but I think the expectation that I believe that the club set out the precedent, which they always do. They do this like briefing, don't they? Beginning of the year, we want to get Europe, we want to compete for the top 5, and we want to win a trophy. That was the whole thing. The trophy thing is still technically on, but I mean, we've got Liverpool Anfield next, so we'll see how that goes. But also, I want to say about the expectation thing, like. The whole difference, because I saw a certain account saying it's between aims and expectations, and you can't get muddled up. You don't set an aim without thinking you can do it. Otherwise, what's the point in setting an aim? Like, it's a realistic aim with the squad we had to go and get that. And you can list off a bunch of teams that you think we're better than. But now, unfortunately, we're looking at Aston Villa, Newcastle, even Bournemouth potentially, as clubs now that I just don't think we're even close to.
No.
Whereas a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I'd say, it was us and Villa, wasn't it? As like competing together. I just think they've left us behind by far.
Yeah. Well, was it December we played them? Or end of November, start of December we played Villa? 2-0 up at half-time, put us 3rd or 4th in the league. And we've just absolutely nosedive since. So I think one of the words that you said there was compete with the top 5, and compete is just not something we're doing in any games really. We're just in them, sort of bumbling our way through. I said it may be a bit reactionary, but I said I compared our enthusiasm and energy to like office workers between the week between Christmas and New Year. There's just nothing about us. Like,
no, it's true.
You just want us, even if we're not going to win or we're not going to get the result we want, at least perform, at least compete.
To buy into, don't you? And that's the thing, the vision, isn't it? There's no vision in what we're doing. It's like, oh yeah, well, I say with the Zerbi Potter, we could see there was a vision end goal, but I just struggle to see what that is at the moment. Here's Ethan Nozza. Nozza was on end of last podcast.
Hello mate, Noz here. Thought I'd send you a voice note about this. Very unhappy with the club. Very unhappy with everything that's going on. Very unhappy with the manager. Very unhappy with the players. Very unhappy with the play style. I feel very disconnected from the Albion at the moment. Since the last time I spoke to you, really, it was on the pod. We were talking about the season review, and I just feel like we've gone severely downhill since then. Obviously, 1 win in 12, losing to your biggest rivals. It's not what we want. I don't think we're going in a good direction. Hopefully, something can change soon. But all I can say is, get Andrew Crofts at the wheel to the end of the season.
I mean, the ending there's quite funny. Yeah. Get Andrew Crofts at the wheel. Appreciate not sending that, to be fair. I think... Would you take Crofty?
It's worked with Keith Andrews at Brentford, isn't it? So, but for me, I'd want a complete change because he's still part of the staff that we've got. So is that going to make any difference? I don't know. But I said I don't think we're bad enough to get relegated. So what happens in the rest of the season doesn't really matter, apart from you just want the feel-good vibes of going into next season with a bit of enthusiasm and excitement. But I can't remember what he said there. There's like the disconnect between the board and the fans. That's what he's like. That just seems to be getting bigger and bigger every week. And
the fact everyone's saying it as well.
And like loads of people that I know that are like not happy clappers, but always think, "Oh, the club are right." They're even saying, "No, this is bad. I've never felt." It's probably started with the Heritage Stones, didn't it? And then hasn't gone from there. And then,
that was mental, by the way.
Or even like moving the the scoreboard from the North Stand to where it is, and without consultation, everything just seems to have gone wrong at the same time.
With the board, they've been quite lucky in the sense that they've been able to mask a lot of very questionable decisions with good performances.
Yeah.
I think, we've had some very good head coaches, we've had some very good players in the recent history. So we've kind of been able to mask up the fact of some of the stuff that we've been doing off the pitch has been insanely questionable for a while now. And I'm sure there's a lot more stories to come, but there is a lot of things that I think maybe they've just been a bit luckier. Whereas now that the performances are terrible, you're now having this, a lot of kind of papering over the cracks sort of thing. I think the cracks are starting to show a lot more. Going from Luca here, is a voice now again.
Hi Ryan. I think even though it's awful that we're where we are at the moment and we're playing some really, really crap football, especially after the 1-0 defeat to Palace. But I think it's important to keep thinking that we got to Europe once. Before that, we were bottom of the table, near on relegation every season. And now we are a lot better than that. But while we're selling all of our best players, there's no chance of us consistently challenging for Europe every single season. But I just wanted to know your thoughts on that. Like, are we holding our expectations too high, or should we really be going for this?
I mean, I can let you answer it first if you want, but I think that you can't say best players and progress.
Yeah. Said we've done it. We did it to an extent for a while, but now we've gone too far where we just keep doing it and not improving and getting worse. And the regression's very evident to anyone. Like, I think it was Joe Hart was on Match of the Day last night, talking about us, and he just said, I can't understand what they're doing anymore. And normally from pundits like that, neutrals, they're always seeing us in a very favourable light, and that's not happening anymore. And as for Europe, at the time I said, if we never get into Europe again, I'm happy with what we've seen and all the places that we went. But now you kind of think we're so close to being there again, and yet so far, and so more. And it's not, as he said, it's not looking like it's going to happen. I think Dunk did his post-match interview yesterday and said we used to be at the bottom of the table and it was hard then. So it's not. We're not always this position isn't as bad as we used to be. And so, I totally agree with him. But there's another bit of Dunk's interview I want to go on to about as well.
We could touch on Dunk's as well, but I'm always in the camp of the past is the past. You have moved on from the past and you've got better from the past. I think if you watch some of my first videos, they are horrendous from a few years ago. They are so embarrassing. I watch them back, I think, what am I doing, right? But you've got to start somewhere. I think, much like anything else, things progress. And if you're on an upward trajectory, if you're getting better year on year, if you're making a lot more money year on year, you're improving the squad, or you should be improving the squad based on what you've got available to you. I think that there's no other option for Brighton in the last few years but progression. And there's nothing that if you look financially, if you look in terms of who we've had physically with players, who we've recruited, I think we have still made some really good signings amongst some interesting ones. I think the issue is we're not getting the best out of these situations. And that to me would suggest more of a regression in terms of what we've almost turned a blind side eye to half of this stuff. And we've dropped our expectations in the we dropped our mentality. We kept our expectations high, we've dropped our mentality.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I think that to get better year on year, it means you have to do something right every single day, consistently. I don't think we do that. And I think that as long as you're not doing the best you can every single day, and you're not showing the mentality and the actual work that goes into progressing every single day, then for me, that's not in the same way as we were when we first got promoted, when we were fighting to stay in the league. Yeah.
Well, that completely ties into that Dunk bit I was going to go on about in his post-match interview, and he said, we're not training hard enough. And
what on earth does that mean?
For me, that's kind of the final nail in the coffin for the manager if we're not training hard enough. So he should be the one motivating them. But then also is Dunk calling out his teammates for not training hard enough when they should be setting like Milner's there to set the standards higher, isn't he? That's what he's here for, not the record. Like Pascal Gross has been a breath of fresh air with his interviews, talking about how we need to raise the standards and play adult football and mature. And I've loved him like that. So hopefully he might become part of the backroom staff that helps lift us out of this. But yeah, when the captain's saying we're not training hard enough, that to me is a big red flag and a worry. So it needs to be addressed really quickly. And for me, I guess now that is changing the manager.
Yeah. I think a lot of that Dunk interview is a lot of worry, to be honest. I refuse to believe if I sat Lewis down in here right now, turned all the cameras off, and spoke to him about that interview. I don't believe that's what he thinks. I just don't. I don't believe that someone that's captained out us, Brighton, in Europe, walked us out in Marseille, and walked us out in Athens. I don't believe that that same guy believes what he just said in that interview. He doesn't believe that. Let's remember where we come from. I'm sorry, he just doesn't. I cannot accept that our captain, someone that I personally think is an absolute icon of this football club, can possibly think that that's acceptable because we were bad a few years ago. No, come on, Lewis. No, you don't think that. You're covering up for it. I get it. You got to cover. You're not going to go throw your manager under the bus unless it really is like we're going down. But I just want a bit of honesty, I suppose. Just come out there and say, look, that was terrible. Mentality's dropped. We need to sort this out ASAP. Don't come and say, well, look, we were in relegation. We were fighting with what we had. Our recruitment then, we had, like, no offense to the team, but like that team was not great. Like that was relegation standard. You know, and Houghton did pretty well to keep us up, to be honest. Second season we should have kicked on a bit more, but we struggled. And then he rightfully got the chop. But I don't know. I just feel like the mentality is, as I said in that previous voice note, it's just not there.
Yeah, I agree. There's just, I get that starts from the top with the manager. Like I don't know what it is. He doesn't. I know he's still young, but he doesn't have that elite thinking, like successful thinking, which other managers do. And I think it kind of rubs off, and players don't seem to quite believe in themselves as much as they used to. And that's down to the motivation from the manager for me. So. Yeah, the mentality is everything. I think that's why Pascal's been quite a breath of fresh air coming in, saying it how it is, and we don't normally hear that in an interview. So it's normally, trust the process, blah 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 blah. And we want to hear more honesty from the players. And
agree.
Like say we aren't doing very well, and we're going to get out of it. So
the ironic thing is, we all call Haaland a robot, right? Yeah. But he's probably the best personality in the whole of the Premier League. I think he's great. But you want to see stuff like that. You know, you want to see just come out and say it. You know, this is the whole point of my podcast. Right, we got one here from Will.
Right, with Hertzler looking like you might go in the summer. Fingers crossed, anyway. Who would you like to see step in replacement? And would you welcome a Zerbi return?
I suppose we'll keep it on that one because we kind of covered replacements before. So we'll do Zerbi replacement. Would you have Zerbi back?
No. I think as much as I loved him, just the tantrums and stuff are enough to stay away, and I want him to stay in that legendary status, the bloke that took us to Europe. They do say never go back, but I love Zerbi, but for me, him coming back is a no-no. But as for who to have in, I don't really know. The list's not that great from memory, but obviously
get Carrick end of the season.
Yeah, Carrick's not a bad shout. He's like one that he's done well. He's earned his stripes at Middlesbrough and a few in the Championship, and like with Man United, he's just put players in their right positions. What's happened?
Magic, isn't it?
if there's new thinking like that, then I'm all for it. And I don't know who else is left. Like Southgate, he's a Palace man.
Southgate,
a bit.
Be the same thing as Hertzler, to be honest.
Yeah, Maresca's the same. Like he's a bit of a.
Maresca will be tippy-tappy, tiki-taka.
But he's won stuff. And
I wouldn't be opposed to Maresca because he actually did a very good job at Leicester, but he wasn't like as good as maybe he was made out to be. But he was he was on the City shortlist, wasn't he, as a potential Pep replacement because of the football he plays. But to cover Zerbi, the only thing I wouldn't have him back for is purely the Greenwood stuff. That's the only reason for me. I mean, if the club and Zerbi could find a common mutual feeling to say, right, look, we fell out before, we'll find a way in between. Let's go 60-40 here. I'd have him back. I'm not going to lie. I think in terms of tactically as a coach, there's not many better managers out there right now. in terms of people that are going to get our football club, there's not many out there that's going to get him that get us like he does. Personally, I don't see it happening. I think Marseille are in a bit of trouble anyway. But for me, it's just the Greenwood thing. I think if it wasn't for the Greenwood stuff, I would have him back in a heartbeat, because I remember how much I liked him in May, and I gave him a handshake and a hug saying goodbye. Enrico and the whole group was unbelievable. Moldera.
Yeah.
I mean, the vibes of that era was insane, but I just think it's just the Greenwood thing for me.
Yeah.
It's just the Greenwood thing. If he come here and just anti it and was like, no, do you know what? Sorry, Mason was terrible. Great. But I don't think he's going to do that.
But like, they went out to Champions League and he threw a hissy fit.
True.
And tried to quit. So that's why I'd stay away. But I do love him and I want him to, I said,
I'll just do anything to have that
memories.
Forest Away thing again.
Yeah.
Forest Away was just amazing. When they just ran over, I look up and all of a sudden the entire staff, like Zerbi, the whole... it's unbelievable.
But yeah, for 9 months under Zerbi, it was probably the best in my lifetime.
Best ever, Best ever. I'll do a couple more of these and we'll finish up.
I'm in the middle of fucking Gatwick right now at 8 in the morning and my head is still gone. Like, there's absolutely no soul anymore. There's absolutely no identity. There's nothing. It's soulless, it's boring, and I think that's the biggest reason that people don't understand. De Zerbi went on like a 8-9 game winless run, but we still had something about us. He was still getting the effort out of the players. He was still instilling an identity in us, but like Hertzler makes players worse, miss platforms, miss profiles, tactics are horrible. I just don't understand genuinely how you can be that bad. His man management is clearly shite as well. Like Harry Howell, to put him in that sort of game, like, no offense to Harry Howell, he's a fucking child at the end of the day, but bro, there's a lot wrong with the club.
I mean,
he's not happy, is he?
Between some words there. I mean, what he's saying is kind of similar to what we've said, really, isn't it? But in between the lines, he's right.
Yeah.
There is no soul, there is no identity. We covered that already, and I guess you're kind of missing that.
Yeah, I said, like, and with the Harry Howell thing, like, I think he's going to be a great talent, but you don't chuck him in that game, do you? Like, he's not even been coming on as a sub for like the Milner minutes at the end. Like, he's just literally just been, you're not playing. Oh, you're starting against Palace, and he didn't do too much wrong, but yeah, there's a lot of pressure on the kid. And if he made a mistake, then you ruin him, don't you?
Yeah. I tell you what, I said before the game, I was like, just to have a chance to make a name for yourself here, because imagine being in his position for Harry. It's like insane. He's 17-year-old coming on.
Assuming he's a Brighton fan as well, if he's like local,
right? So. Yeah, it must have been an incredible moment. And like for every young boy that's grown up around Sussex, that's an absolute dream to be able to be put out like that. So, especially against Palace. But I do think there was a lot of naivety in him. You can kind of see there was a lack of confidence in him going forward. Like he had moments where he just burst and he was looking really good. He gave me like kind of moves a bit like Cole Palmer in a weird way, kind of the way he strides and the way he has the ball quite low to he's got quite a low centre of gravity. He reminds me a little bit of a Cole Palmer sort of esque player. I'm not saying he's as good as Palmer, but you know what I mean. And that he looks like he definitely needs minutes. But again, like it's players like Howell, it's players like Georgie, it's players, these young players, which before we would just get the absolute best out of them, and it just feels like we've kind of thrown him into it, and he looks a little bit rabbit in the head, like sheepish. That didn't used to exist before. That used to be something we used to be quite good at. So again, I think that's probably another sign of coaching. Right, I'll rattle off these ones without going into too much detail. So I'll go for me, Fulham. This is from Joe, sorry. Fulham and Everton were good performances. We're seeing games out, oversighted the performance. However, Palace was shocking. I don't mind losing games, it's football, but we are not world beaters and I'll be happy with top 10. However, yesterday the players seemed like they weren't up for it, which is disgraceful. Wharton and Hughes won them the game by putting the challenges in and working the... Wonder if, as they are English and understand it more, probably not, mate. The players have to take a lot of responsibility, but also Hertzler is the one that has the final say to get them ready. I think it's very similar to Potter. He doesn't inspire the players as much as Zerbi. I mean, very similar to what we've said.
Just saying, like the midfield there, like we just don't win 50-50 tackles.
We emptied the midfield in the second half,
and like all the second balls fall to Palace players. Like it just happens every game. Like we just don't win tackles. Like Believer sort of came back a little bit in the last couple of games, and then he was well off it again yesterday.
Yeah, he was. He gave the
Yeah,
ball away a lot.
yeah.
But I thought when we took him off, I felt like that gap there
Oh,
was
yeah,
insane.
yeah.
Until we brought on Hinchelwood and Gomez, that's when we kind of looked a little bit more, or at least we've got a body in there. Whereas for a good 10 minutes, that was just open. I think they should have done better.
Yeah.
Fair play to Evan Gesson came on for his debut. He was excellent, I thought, for Palace.
I don't really know what happened today. We had like Gross at centre back, Dunk, like someone played a through ball down the wing and it was Dunk the furthest forward chasing it. And
It's just baffling. I saw Bart Verbruggen come up to the bench.
Yeah, what's going on?
He said, "Where's the left back? Who's playing left back? Why on earth is the goalkeeper shouting that?" Like, honestly, if that doesn't ring alarm bells, I don't know what will. One from Andre. It's not so much of an opinion. It's more just a little piece. He just put, "Hello lads, love the pod. Appreciate it, Andre." Just want to point out the program notes for yesterday's game. Barber wrote to fans that fans should manage their expectations, which I find effing hilarious, especially when preseason was all about finishing top 5. I mean, yeah. Absolutely. Got two more, shall we go? Let's go one more message and then one more voice note, and then I think that'll be probably about right. Hi Ryan, hope all is well. Hope you're well too, Ronnie. Not sure how to send a voice note as it won't let me, but anyway, here's my take on Hutzler. First and foremost, I'm Hutzler out. My issue isn't just what we're losing, but it's that we leave any sort of identity, and I just don't know how it's going to get any better, especially with a difficult run coming up. Furthermore, I feel like we've stagnated under Hutzler, and in my experience, when an organisation stagnates, it isn't long before it begins to go backwards. Furthermore, he loves his furthermores. Furthermore, he doesn't seem to galvanise the squad, and I don't see how that's going to change either. I say sack him, get Crofts in charge until we get Ilza from Hoffenheim, Farioli from Porto, or Carlos Cuesta, Arsenal's assistant. I mean, at least he's thrown some names in the hat there, so fair play. But yeah, I mean, you're right. If you stagnate, you do end up going backwards. It's like if you stand still on a treadmill, it's only going to go one way and you're going to fall straight over and you never know what can happen from that point onwards.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think Bloom's kind of known for that sort of, like when it is a hard market and we are behind others in like financial status and stuff, that we find ways of getting there to compete with them, but we're just not doing that now. So I guess that's what is annoying the fans. Like, we know we could be there and we have done it in the past, but the past is the past, as you say. So we have to find a new way, and the new way for me isn't under Fabian.
Yeah. We've got one here because I've got a lot of, obviously people think because I'm young, I look a lot younger than I am. I'm 25 soon. I'm getting old.
I'm 45.
But because I'm young, I didn't go to the Goldston, so therefore it doesn't really count, which always makes sense. If only I was born earlier. Dorian sent here, I've been watching Brighton for 60 years. To lose the crowd is appalling. Negative backwards and sideways movements, slow, ineffective build-ups, and a season ticket renewal time for the Championship. Big one from Dorian there. I mean, look, been following for 70 years. You can't really hate on it.
Yeah, like I said, everyone's got their own stories, how long they've been supporting and their opinions. I totally agree. Like, especially with the season ticket renewals coming up, like, I see loads of people like tweeting. I tweeted that yesterday, and loads of people go, "Oh, I'm giving it up. I'm not doing it. I've had enough." But still a fan at the end of the day. You want to go, so there's no issue. I'm not
still
going to
pay the money.
Yeah, I'm still going to pay the money. We could be in Division 4 again, and I'll still pay the money and go. So. It feels bad, but it's not the worst position we've ever been in as an objective. But yeah, it just at the moment everything feels really, really
to be
bad.
fair, in terms of my memory, I've never seen anything like that before. Like I've only been really remembering football since we were at the Amex.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's going to offend some people that are older than me, but what can I do? But I mean, the most bitter was Millwall against when Hippier was here, and I was at that game. I was, and it was poor, but. I mean, Lee Gregory scored. What a pull. But I don't think I've seen it that bad. I mean, I was at obviously the end of Houghton's reign. It was quite toxic with that. Was it Cardiff and the Bournemouth games? But
even then, I don't think the fans sung "Sacked in the Morning." No, it never went as bad as that.
Right, we'll end it on this one from Luke. He couldn't be on the podcast, but he sent me a voice message anyway.
The club at the moment is, I wouldn't say a mess, but it's not in a good way. I literally saw people arguing and like properly going at it after the game. Unsurprisingly, but it was just one of those people that was going, "Oh, remember where we were 30 years ago." remember where we were, like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, when I was sitting in the Amsterdam Marina, and it was one of the best nights of my life, like football wise, just in general wise, because it was just fucking incredible. I never expected to be there. I know you look at it now and it just seems like we've got no direction, no hope. Signings have been weird. Only making one signing, and that being Gross for the January transfer window. Yeah, just not in a good place. I wouldn't say a mess, just not in a good place at the moment. And that performance was shocking as well. But less said about that, the better.
I mean, he's right, to be fair. 2 years ago we were. If you're going to look back in the past, remember where we come from. We're in Amsterdam not so long ago.
Yeah, so for me, that was peak for me. We're playing former champions of Europe. We're winning away. We've got some bloke from Barcelona on loan scoring the winner. What's happened to Brighton?
Yeah.
And now it's Brighton are back. But I said they can't always be good. I'm trying to be objective here, but it can't always be good. But to be this bad, they said it's not a complete mess, but it is terrible. As you said, there is still time to turn this around this season. Even always got 13 games to go or something like that. So even in the last 13 games, we probably only won. We won 1 or 2?
Yeah.
So before that, I think we were with Drew and Palace. I think we beat Leeds, Brentford.
Yeah.
Forest, so we won
a few games.
I think we had 10 points out of 12 before this run, and so we can do it, which is probably one of the frustrations over going. But we've gone a quarter of a season with 1 win. That is, I don't want to swear, but that's terrible. It is terrible.
Yeah, it is really bad. I think I'm completely in agreement with you. What we do from here, I don't know. I think it's massively on the board.
Yeah,
massively on the board. I think Barber, Bloom. I'd imagine Barber and Bloom have differing opinions.
Yeah.
I think maybe Bloom would see, I hope he can see how we think, because he is one of us at the end of the day, and he's carried his club through a lot worse than this. But Barber, my jury's out on, because I'm trying to think of where these corporate things are stemming from, and I struggle to think past him. Yeah. I'm not saying that he needs to go, but maybe there needs to be a shift in mentality, in mistakes, because we've had a lot of mistakes. The David Weir sacking was really weird, and we all blamed it on him originally, didn't we? We blamed it on Pedro, blamed it on Zerbi, blamed it on Weir, we've blamed it on God knows well. So eventually you've got to kind of take accountability and think we've done quite a bit wrong now. Yeah. We are not quite at tipping point, but I think if it was to go much longer without wins, we could well be seeing ourselves dragged a little bit. I mean, before the game, Murray said that Palace were in a relegation scrap. Yeah. They're now above us. I'm not saying we are, but I'm just saying
we could go to Leeds the last game of the season. Winner stays up.
Winner stays up. But we'll see.
I won't get to that. I
don't think we'll go down, but I don't want to be complacent and entitled, perhaps, to say that we can't. Yeah. Because you can't just can't coast your way through life. It just won't work. You will get caught up with.
Yeah, if we're going to say we could still get into Europe, then we could still get in a relegation scrap. So
true.
Just as easily.
True. We'll see. I do think we need a new head coach. If I had my way, I'd get a new one right now. Yeah. But I don't think that's going to happen. It's Monday afternoon now and nothing's happened. So I can't see it. But Brett, it's been an absolute pleasure. And I think, honestly, one of my favourite podcasts in regards to how we've addressed such a terrible situation.
Yeah, no, I agree. I didn't want to moan, and I think probably have, but I wasn't too offensive. I think so. Yeah, I said yesterday was the first time all season I've fallen into the Hertzler out camp. You can't look at the club. Yeah, you can't look at what happened. Yeah, the chants, the booing, just the atmosphere in the stadium. Because the start of the game, the atmosphere was really good. The crowd were up for it. They'd forgotten everything. It doesn't matter about the form. It doesn't matter how bad we've been. It's Palace. Just get up for it. And we did.
100%.
And the players, nothing.
100%. And do you know what? I'm really, really glad you ended it on that. Yeah. Because that first 5 minutes, the atmosphere at the Amex was one of the best I've seen for a long time. A long time. And yes, you're right. Everyone got behind it. Everyone worked it out of their heads. Nobody was entitled, nor was anybody being whatever they got accused of being. They were top. I will stick up for Andy Naylor a little bit. I'll say, Andy, please stop writing these articles. But I think you're a good guy, and I think you're a funny guy. I work with you a lot, and you're a nice guy. But obviously, with these sort of articles comes this sort of criticism. You've got to kind of expect it. So please stop writing them. But I will stick up for you, and I'll defend you. That's all. But yeah, Brett.
Pleasure. I'll do it again soon.
We certainly will. Make sure you come to Caxton Arms, the best Brighton pub, the place to be. If you are any sort of Brighton fan that doesn't live in the UK or England, you can't get this cool place anywhere else in this city, so you need to come. Thank you for watching, and we will be back after, probably not Villa, we'll be back after Liverpool. God, what could happen there? Goodbye.